little while earlier. He is on a 2-day visit to the country. He is arriving from Singapore, and on your screens he's receiving the ceremonial welcome typically accorded to an official visiting of the stature that Austin carries. Now, as we told you a little while earlier, the meeting today has a few different agendas, but it primarily involves the two countries coordinating in a few critical areas. First, tech, such as those for engines of jets. The second, more U.S. ships arriving in India for maintenance and repair. Remember, with the Prime Minister slated to visit the United States in June, these meetings assume a particular importance. Now, let's go over to my colleague Akash for more context on these meetings. Akash, we've asked you already about the broader context behind these meetings. Now, can you tell us a little bit more specifically about what Lloyd Austin's itinerary will look like over the next 2 days?
Right. After arriving yesterday, yesterday he did not have any sort of meeting, but today he is meeting Rajnath Singh first. And in fact, we are seeing these visuals where both the important personalities of these two nations are actually meeting, and the kind of warmth can be witnessed. And after this particular meeting, the important meeting is going to be between the Defence Secretary of U.S. and also between the NSA of India. This meeting, as far as the information that we have, the schedule is of around 45 to 60 minutes and will last at around 50 minutes. And these are the only two involvements.
The NSA, Mr. Jack Sullivan, shall be visiting India in mid-June, while our Prime Minister is traveling to the U.S. in the third week of June 2023. Our teams are working on the substantive outcomes. Our strategic convergences should guide us to new domains and expand the scope of collaboration. We are charting new pathways of cooperation by pursuing stronger defense industrial engagement, easing of technology restrictions, resilient supply chains in all domains, and maritime security. Excellency, thank you very much.
Actually, sir, please. Secretary. Sir, please. Sir, please, sir. Please, please. Are we leaving? Yeah. Please. All right.
It's a pleasure to be back in New Delhi.
Can we have opening remarks? Yeah, your opening remarks.
Express my deepest condolences to the tragic loss of life in a recent train
Please, sir. Only opening remarks. Please.
Our hearts go out to all who are suffering, and we are standing by to assist however.
The Secretary also heard his.
Since we last met in November, the partnership between the United States and India has continued to move from strength to strength. As the world's two largest democracies, we're grounded by our shared values and our shared vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific. The United States and India stand shoulder to shoulder in embracing some bedrock principles, including respect for sovereignty and the peaceful resolution of disputes. And we are unified. We're unified in opposing any attempt to undermine the rules-based order, which has contributed to decades of peace and prosperity in this region. So I look forward to discussing the progress that we've made and the new ground that we're breaking in areas like information sharing, maritime security, and defense industrial and technology cooperation. And the investments that we're making in integrating our defense sectors will strengthen our shared security over the long term. And our cooperation will support India's indigenous defense base, and that's a key goal of our major defense partnership. So thanks again for having me today, Mr. Minister. It's always great to come to India.
All right, let's go back to my colleague Akash. Akash, can you just highlight for us what it is, if you could just lay out for us, that both countries are hoping to achieve with this meeting? We've talked about the agendas, but what are the larger goals both countries are hoping to achieve?
Indo-Pacific is what the term has been mentioned by U.S. Defense Secretary as of now, because I was in fact hearing to what he's saying. And other than the Indo-Pacific, he's talking about the maritime security and the cooperation, in fact, the tech sharing. Tech sharing is very crucial, Soya, because I have been mentioning it from last so many days that this particular deal is not only crucial just because we have to, manufacture our Tejas Mark II, and these are the fighter planes that are indigenous fighter planes, but is also crucial because once this tech sharing will happen, that is very likely to be announced during Prime Minister Modi's visit. After that, India can have its own facility, of course, in cooperation with the United States and the company GE Aviation. But after that, we will not be dependent on other countries as far as engines are concerned. Engine is one important component that is required in the fighter planes, and till now, we are not developing our own engines, or we are not manufacturing our own engines. That is the reason why this particular tech sharing is very important and crucial. While we talk about this visit, we know that how, in fact, Defence Secretary of India visited United States just a few weeks back, and it was stressed. In fact, the sources within the Defence Ministry, confirmed that there were important discussions as far as this defence partnership is concerned, and things were close to finalization. And now, in fact, this visit will somewhere outline the whole proposal, will give some sort of conclusion to that proposal, which we can expect that will be announced during the Prime Minister Modi's visit. Now, why this visit is important is also because of the current geopolitical situations. We know the aggression of China in not just the eastern and western borders of India, eastern and western sectors of India, but also in the Indo-Pacific. We have seen that how whenever we try to, whenever a NOTAM is issued, how China tries to send its, spy vessels in the Indian Ocean region. Though our Navy is very alert, our Navy keeps an eye on every development and happening in the Indian Ocean region. But then too, we know the intentions of China. We know the ill intentions of China, in fact, I should say. We know about the aggression of China. In fact, not just, aggression on the borders that we have on land, but also in waters. India is a new India and has taken, several steps as far as Atmanirbharta is concerned. We have inducted several platforms, not just in Indian Navy, but also in Indian Air Force and Indian Army. In fact, Modi government has completed 9 years, and in these 9 years, a number of indigenous platforms have been inducted in all three forces. And, Tejas aircraft, Tejas fighter plane is one of the most important induction in Indian Air Force. We know about the squadrons and the need of Indian Air Force at this point in time. And, after this particular deal, everyone is very hopeful. In fact, the experts from the defense industries say that, after this particular deal, when India will be manufacturing these engines here in India only, it will be very easy and convenient for the production of the Tejas Mark II that is in the pipeline. In fact, in Tejas Mark I, we are using F404 engine. And, while talking about Tejas Mark II, we are going to have F414. And this tech sharing is going to give some sort of leeway in a sense that India has an aspirational approach as far as induction of Tejas Mark II is concerned. And HAL that is actually working on this particular production is in fact very hopeful. But let's see what will be the ultimate, we can say that outcome of this particular meeting, Toya.